Hi there, it's Karen with InspiredByGram.com. Welcome to my channel. So the next few videos I'm going to be showcasing the Hydrangea Hill Designer Series paper. You can see in this card here, it's just beautiful cocoa rose and some purples, gorgeous grape, Highland heather, and it also has the Misty Moonlight, which is the blue. So let's just take a look at the suite here. It's found on page 18 and 19 of the mini catalog, and it's the Hydrangea Hill suite. And the paper here is right here. It's $11.50, and there's 12 sheets, 2 each of 6 double-sided designs. So lots of coordinating colors there that make really great cards. So we're gonna make this one today, and it uses one of my little favorite punches there that is retiring. So unfortunately that bloom punch I won't be able to use much longer, but I might just keep it in my craft room just because it makes really cute embellishments. All right, so, and here's the envelope I stamped with the sentiment on the front there. All right, so let's get our little supplies all in front of us here. I've got everything kind of punched out so we can skip the punching step. All right, so we're using the heart punch pack. So the heart punch pack, it will punch scalloped hearts, and it will also just punch a normal looking heart that layers really nicely on the scalloped. So we've got Misty Moonlight and Basic White. We're gonna need the white here for stamping. And then the sizes on the other pieces here, the Hydrangea Hill is your 3x4, so you make sure you cut this correctly because it is a directional pattern. And then we're gonna layer it right on top of the Misty Moonlight, which is just 1/8 of an inch smaller, so larger, 3/8 by 3 1/8 by 4 1/8, okay? And then this one here, I love this one. I got some really nice blue up there. This is cut 4 by 5 1/4. And then we've got another few pieces here. We've got our Misty Moonlight, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I've got my inside panel because that card front is dark. You're gonna need a white, and that's 4 by 5 1/4, basic white. And then I've just got a scrap here of the Hydrangea Hill, which is about 3/4 of an inch by 4. So let's stamp first. In order to, we're going to be working with photopolymer stamps, so I suggest you use your piercing mat. So I've got mine right here. We're going to be using Gorgeous Grape ink, and this is a deep purple, but not too deep. And then we're going to take our heart right here, and we're going to just stamp, "You are capable of amazing things." So this is just going to go right down center, right on the heart there. Nice little cursive and some just regular letters as well. And then we need to dress up our basic white medium envelope. So I like to just carry the sentiment throughout my cards and my envelopes. So I'm just kind of stamping right across the bottom of that. And that just kind of dresses up the envelope just so, you know, it's just so basic white, right? Okay. So let's close up the ink pad, and then we're just going to assemble our card. You may want to have a silicone craft sheet. I like to have mine handy just in case I need it for my ink or my adhesive. I'm going to be using the liquid multi-purpose liquid glue, and we're just going to add a little bit here. I just opened this brand new bottle, so it does come out pretty quickly. We're going to make sure our card is opening the correct way. And then we're just going to layer this right down on top of the Misty Moonlight card base, just like that. Okay, and now let's bring this one into the picture. Again, this was cut 3 by 4, and I like that size to maximize my designer series paper. And it's getting layered on the Misty Moonlight, which is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. Just a little hint of the Misty Moonlight coming through there. Okay, just like that. We're going to need to add some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back side there. So let me grab those, and we're going to add 5 of them. And then the middle one, we want to just look a little bit higher because your ribbon's going to go right there. And then we've got them all in the 4 corners there. So I'm just gonna press my thumbnail right into the backings there so they just kind of pop off a little bit and you just peel them right off. All right, so we've got that all set. And then let's just put this on the silicone craft sheet for right now. I'm going to be bringing in the tricolor purple ribbon. This is really, really pretty. And again, another ribbon that's going to be retiring. So I've got it flat on the back side there. And I'll just put this right there. And I'm right-handed, so I always start with the bolt on this side here. And then I'm just gonna wrap this around and we'll tie a knot kind of just like this, and then we'll just tie our little bow. Oops, let me try that one more time. If it doesn't work on the second try, we're going to get out my crafting tweezers that one of my YouTube subscribers sent me. She's also a card club participant. She knew I didn't have any and I couldn't find any in my area, so she actually sent them to me. So that was really nice of her. Thank you, Lee, for doing that. Okay, so that's okay. We can go with this bow. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. All right, so I'm just going to take my paper snips and just trim it off. Okay, so let's bring in your card base and we'll peel that right off the silicone craft sheet. Now, if I had this right on my desk, this would have stuck to this paper, the birch paper there, and we don't want that to happen. So that's why I love to have the silicone craft sheet in my craft room. So now I'm just going to layer this right over top of that bottom the designer series paper that's on the bottom. Okay. And I wanted to just make it a little bit higher, not centered, but just a little bit higher. So I've got some more of this pretty paper coming through in the design there of the hydrangeas. Okay, so we'll make sure that's all good. And then let's layer our You Are Amazing, You Are Capable of Amazing Things. We're just gonna add our liquid glue, and that's way too much, but that's what happens when you have a new bottle of liquid glue. It just kind of seems to come out so super fast. All right, so now I'm just gonna add that heart right onto the scallop heart. Okay, then we'll flip this over. We'll add a few more dimensionals to this one here. And where did I put my dimensionals? There they are. I would add 3 on here. So you've got 2 at the top and then 1 at the bottom. And then we'll just take those right off by pressing in the middle, and then they just peel right off. Okay, so now let's bring in our card. Now, this is where you're going to have to probably move your ribbon over just a little bit. So mine is here, is just way too far. So I'm just going to hopefully be able to, there we go, slide it over to the left side. Now I'm going to bring this heart right in the middle and secure it down. So now let's take this little bloom and we're going to add a little bit of the Tombow liquid glue on the back side, and then we'll just kind of put it over here. It kind of, you know, covers up that white area there that you don't want, you know, you need something there. So I thought that would look really nice. Now let's bring in our, while that's drying, let's bring in our inside panel and work on that. And I've simply got a piece of that designer series paper. Again, it's about a little bit more than ½ an inch, but it was just a scrap. So I always like to use the scraps on my inside panels. So this is like I know it's 4 inches across, but it's probably like ½ an inch or so. And it is sticking over just a little bit. So if that happens to you, you can just take your paper snips and just trim it right off, give it a little haircut. All right, so now let's add a little bit of the piece up there. And we'll open up our card and we will add this right to the inside of the card. The final touch, we're going to add some of those basic pearl jewels. So I've got a new sheet here and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. And then I'm just going to, excuse me, sorry about that, I got a little tickle in my throat. I think the pine trees are starting to get to me. I swear I'm allergic to pine trees. Ever since we moved here, this time of year, I get so stuffy, and it's getting to be spring, and those pine trees are killing me right now. It's with my allergies. So I've taken a couple of these little pearls, and excuse me, we're going to just add them to the areas where there's not any designs there from the hydrangeas. And I'm gonna grab, I've got, large one, and let's go with a little medium one there. And let's get one of these little tiny ones here. Add that one right there. And I think that's good enough. So here is our card we just made together with our stamped sentiment envelope there. And here is the one I made earlier in the day. So again, I'm going to be featuring the Hydrangea Hill Designer Series paper over the next few videos. Got a few cards already designed, and this was one of the designs I offered in my March card club. So if you're interested in my card club or Stampin' Up! Products in general, I would love to earn your business if you're not already working with a current demonstrator. You can go to my website, inspiredbygram.com, and purchase any of those Stampin' Up! Products from me directly. So I hope you have a great day and you give the Hydrangea Hill Designer Series paper a try. All right, you be well.